What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Reality Roundtable. I'm your host, Jonathan Brown, and I got the guys from the popular podcast, WoT8, with me. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, sir. It's your boy Marquise Q7 in the building.
Hey, what's good with you? It's Raider Rashawn.
And it's your boy Easy E.
And today we're going to talk about how they got started, how they were able to build their fan base. Well, not fan base, followers. And also any future plans that they have that they're willing to share.
But no free lunch. No free lunch.
That-
Can't give it to you.
Won't give it to you.
All right, now, how did this podcast, how did the idea of this podcast come about?
Eric, you can take it.
I mean, we always just used to sit around and just talk or whatever. And I think one of these days we just dropping gems on each other. We were just like, wait. We're giving out all this information. I'm pretty sure someone deserves to hear this.
Right.
And then so we said we're going to do it, and we tried to do it, I think, a year ago today, or maybe in a few days or whatever. So like a year ago today, we actually tried to make a podcast. But niggas ain't faulted.
That was very bad one.
But then we came back and made communication, and we just kind of really just took off from there.
Yeah. We had all the ingredients, we just didn't have, I guess, a drive. There's nothing really different between a year now from a year ago to now. We just really wanted to do it this time around, so we did it.
Facts.
So, where did that drive come from then?
I think it's in the name, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You want to touch on that?
You want to touch on that, Sean?
Well, if anybody that's listening don't know, I can tell y'all what it means. The reason we chose WoT8 is because South Carolina has 3 area codes: 843, 803, 864. And basically, it's just meaning most people when they think in terms of South Carolina, we're pretty slept on musically, probably in athletes, probably in everything. We're probably slept on.
The only thing they think we big on in South Carolina is racism.
Right.
Nah.
So in terms of I said, or we felt that every one of us have the weight on our shoulders of the 8, basically. The 8 as in South Carolina. So that's basically what it is.
Get on the head with that one. I ain't gonna lie.
And y'all been able to build a pretty good following with y'all's show. Now, how do you how were y'all able to build that following? How does it feel knowing that y'all have the type of following that y'all have?
What kind of following you think we got?
It's one that's growing with each episode.
Well, I think what's key to it is we all have our own friends and own little sub-circles outside of where we are now. So we really just, buckle down after they support, and we just been lucky and blessed to really have that ever since.
And when it comes to y'all show, y'all talk about certain topics, y'all don't really stick to one thing when it comes to y'all show. 1 minute you may talk about sports, another minute you may talk about dating, another minute you may talk politics.
Very diverse.
Yeah, what made y'all want to not just focus on one thing, but you want to hit many subjects?
I mean, I feel like we're very opinionated kind of people. We always have different people bring different stuff to the table. Eric might have something to plot to that we need to talk about. He might bring something to our attention, sports, music. And we all have common similar interests too. So at the end of the day, we only talk about stuff that intrigue us. Not only, but if we feel like it needs to be talked about, we talk about it.
And I think another thing, we've been said to be able to speak on things vulnerable or things that people usually wouldn't speak about out loud. And I feel like us using our platform and giving our perspective is actually quite similar to a lot of people that are listening. And I feel like that's why we've been able to resonate and have the success that we had so far. So.
I agree.
And now, when you talk about people really resonating with you, do you feel like that's more motivation for y'all to do the show because you feel like people do connect with y'all on such a personal level?
Well, I feel like you could call it a motivation, but at the end of the day, the mission with the WoT8, the entire mission of itself is to put people on within the state. Whether that be vocally and addressing an issue, or just making people aware of the talent that we have within the state. So, I mean, you could call it a motivation, but I just feel like we owe it to people to have something to do. Initially when we started, quarantine just picked up, and niggas didn't know what they were going to do to occupy their time, and we really just wanted to be a way to help.
You basically just wanted to have somebody they wanted to make it seem like it was.
Hey, go finish your thought, bro?
Yeah, finish your thought, bro?
No, I was trying to basically what I'm saying. We just wanted to kind of want to make it seem like we was trying to be like therapists or nothing like that. But we just basically it was kind of like a scary time, like and people was dying and stuff. So we was like, bro, we need to give them something other to think about than the coronavirus is going on, basically.
So putting positivity in the air.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it was a real uncertain time when we started. Like niggas didn't know what the next day promised.
That's what just now I was about to say. I'm like, no, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it.
I'm just having fun at this point. I mean, it's good that we're doing that, but I'm just doing this because it's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And y'all talked about like the whole quarantine thing. Do y'all feel like, you know, it's a kind of a blessing in disguise with this whole quarantine thing because y'all been putting out content pretty consistently since this thing started?
Well, you talking about as far as like a blessing in disguise for everybody or for our podcast?
For your podcast, not everybody. Of course, no, not everybody.
Some people really.
I think mostly it just gave us a chance to be stuck in the house with nothing to do, and we just really was already going to do it. So it was like, all right, let's just do it.
Perfect time. Honestly.
That's really what it was. It kind of just felt right into our lap. Just filled out the right way.
I feel like if we didn't capitalize on this, then we know we weren't going to do it. Like if we did like go out with the idea of the podcast, we know we weren't going to be serious.
We probably gonna give it like 3 episodes. And we was like, I don't think so.
All right, so y'all talk like on y'all show, like with the feedback y'all get. Like, how do y'all choose like when to talk about certain things? Like, is there like ever like a thought process when y'all
Oh yeah, most definitely. This is a misconception I feel like a lot of people have about this podcast. We don't think about what we're going to talk about the week of the podcast. Like everything is premeditated and talked about and thought about in a way to make it grow. Like that's really the overall goal right now. Like we still getting our feet moved, still like making mistakes and learning from them. But the overall objective is to make it grow, and we can't make it grow by not saying by not listening to everybody, but like we can't take everybody's opinion in. You know what I'm saying? Or allow everybody to be on the podcast that needs to be on it. Like we go about it in a way that people seem to like right now, so we're just gonna stick with that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not nothing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, we're really going up from here too. I feel like I ain't trying to toot our own horn, but we've been doing pretty well.
I'm ready to see like all the talent in the state that's really going.
Yeah, once they see that we're distributing out like each other, like
really just putting everybody else on.
That's all we're trying to do, bro. That's all.
But people think that I ain't gonna say like when business and relationships get in the way of it, like just because I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna let you, but like just because I'm not gonna say yeah you get my podcast like next time we do it doesn't mean that I don't rock with you any less. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really anything because people come to me like I'm the head decision maker. Like if I say that's what's gonna happen, like nah, it's for the people on this thing, 5 in total that make decisions. So you know it's really selfish for you to think that I made decisions. If you really think about it,
they really trying to put it all on you. That's tough.
You know.
Now, with the topics that y'all do talk about, like, are there like when it comes to, like picking your guests, like, do you have to think about like, okay, like this guest fits this topic?
Yeah.
You go ahead, Sean.
I think with anything you have to do that. Like, for example, when we had the NFL Draft podcast, we're not gonna have anybody on that really probably don't know as much about sports as you and Tease did. So it kind of worked out in a sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we try to like go about for every podcast that we have in the future.
Like get people that are likable first and foremost, and then like also fit the topic around the people that we feel like would be experts or like share their expertise on the topic.
And we're really trying to get people that have their own perspective as well. Like I feel like we've been really lucky so far to have the guests that come on, and like part of the conversation is having 2 different sides to talk about, and then like going forth from there. So we've been really lucky to just have people that are diverse with their opinions. They're not really following the crowd. Like they really stand out and have their own line of thought. So.
And y'all talk about like how y'all like the goal for this is to put people on the stage. Like, what made y'all like come up? Like, what made y'all like just sit down and think like, man, like we really want to put our own people on from this state?
When you sit and look at the state, there's just like
there's a lot of
so much talent.
A lot of good people came out of South Carolina.
Like for real. But I don't know. It's just like we from South Carolina. I feel like we grew up always thinking we got to get out of the state, get out of the state, get out of the state. Like which is it's good to get out of South Carolina. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, you should always expand your
in terms of like it's just not forgetting where you came from. Like that's really all it is. It's not.
You should always leave something better than what you founded as well. So.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your podcast is gonna make make it like even more cool to be from South Carolina now?
I mean, I think it's cool now, but
I mean, I feel like the whole thing is like just take pride from where you're from. Like Drake has a 6. Like you don't see anybody repping Toronto as hard as Drake. So like, why can't we rep South Carolina as hard as we want to rep South Carolina?
Drake kind of reps everywhere though.
But he mainly reps Toronto. Though.
Yeah, Toronto. He claims different parts. He has like ties in like different parts of the nation. So I mean, he claims those parts, but like he really reps the 6.
I mean, people from Georgia rep Georgia. I mean, people from Atlanta, they tell you different Atlanta.
I feel like South Carolina pride has really been coming up. I feel like we've had our moments when it came to sports. Like we had Clowney, we had Marcus Lattimore and stuff like that. But now we got Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, and like they're really capitalizing on this era now of being proud of where you're coming from. And so I feel like we really hit, like it was God's plan that it didn't work the first time, honestly, because this is the perfect way for us to really come about. And,
but think about it. We was doing this consistently since last year. Bro, you know
we probably would have been some places. But we still gonna get there regardless.
I'm in the same boat because I released my first 2 episodes last year. If y'all remember, Rashawn was on the very first one.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, he's.
You didn't invite me on none, Jonathan Brown. You wasn't fuck with me back then, bro? You wasn't fuck with me back then. Like
I was. I'm just saying, Rashawn fit what I was trying to do with the time.
What did we talk about that episode?
Probably something cute to talk about.
We talked about what you want and won't accept in a relationship.
Sheesh.
That was the first episode.
That was the very first episode.
Bro, that was so funny, bro.
He didn't get your feet wet. He just jumped straight in the pool.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
But Jonathan Brown, you have a bigger following than us, so like, how do you do it? We should be interviewing you, really.
Honestly.
I mean, really, it's just like basically like I've been like since this whole Corona thing, like y'all, I've been kind of consistent, and like I don't know, I just feel like the topics I talk about like they're kind of controversial, but like if you know me, you know I don't have fear in talking about those type of things.
Right.
So I feel like people just can relate to it.
So how do you like gain new listeners from that? Because like people that don't know you, like we're just gonna like keep them interested in you.
I mean, basically, like some people who follow me on like social media, like I'll just DM them and I'll just like tell them
You
like
just DM random people.
no, like there'll be people that I actually follow and like who follow me back, and like I'll DM them and I'll just be like, just listen to the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I can, like if you listen to the first 5 minutes and it's good, you'll listen to the whole episode.
That's fair.
And I just do my best to try to put out good content.
We about the same amount of episodes in. I think we both 11 episodes in.
Hey,
That's solid.
hey, you're going up.
What are some tips you would give to somebody that's starting a new podcast out right now? What are some tips? Say they in their first week, they're about to record their first episode tomorrow. What would you tell them?
Just talk about topics that really interest you, that you would think that people would want to hear. Even if people wouldn't want to hear it, like at the end of the day, you want to be true to yourself because people do respect realness, even though it kind of seems like it's going out of style with social media nowadays.
They realness going out of style.
Realness is definitely going out of style.
It's definitely going out of style, but yeah.
Nowadays, people log into who they want to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah, just be authentically yourself, and I feel like people will eventually gravitate towards it.
That's a good advice.
Good advice.
That's solid advice, honestly.
I mean,
That's
hey,
life.
hey, even though there's a lot of madness to me, there's some good too.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Jonathan Brown, you're a solid dude. But I appreciate you having us on your podcast. Like we had you on ours.
I've been meaning to get you on it for a long time, Quiz. Even though you don't think I rock with you, I don't get why.
I call like I see you, brother.
Call like you see?
I call like I see you.
Well, you ain't call it right.
You do misinterpret it sometimes.
I really don't.
Yeah, especially
You did not call it right.
bro. You've had some miscalled judges against me. In
Hey,
our time.
Hey, you really want to bring this over to Jonathan Brown podcast? You want to bring this over?
I was gonna talk to you about this anyways, but we can do it afterwards, bro.
We go shake hands.
Both hands.
Okay.
My bad. I ain't mean.
Anyway.
No, y'all good, but recently y'all created a Instagram page, y'all created a website, y'all created a Twitter page.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of all that?
You said what was the point?
Yeah, what was the point of it?
I think
So
there's really
let's clear this up. This
it's
is
really coming. It's really coming soon. Really.
I'm
really
just
gonna understand
gonna say
that
that
later.
this
You're not gonna
isn't just a
understand
podcast. I'm just leaving it at that. This is just
If you read carefully, it says the first venture away is the podcast.
it's gonna take time for the plans to come into action and really act where they want to, but we ain't got nothing but time anyway. So just watch.
I'm telling you.
Stay patient.
And how has being like quarantine help y'all like figure out like exactly the next steps that y'all want to take with this whole podcast?
Have a lot of time to plan. Like we usually call each other, like have a group call within I don't know, like every 2 weeks or like as frequently as you need to. That's another thing too. I would like give anybody an advice. Like you have to like like I said earlier, you have this premeditated. So like you have to like really plan, structure, organize like what you want to do. Because you try to go on the whim. Not saying it's not gonna work, but like, it's gonna be hard to like keep it, as consistent. So quarantine really has been helping us plan. That's really what it boils down to. Like anything that you want to like be successful in, it has to be like well prepared and well planned out.
Do you feel like if we didn't have this quarantine, we'd be able to like pull it off where we are?
Over the summer, yeah. But
not
during the school semester. Nah. Niggas be busy. Niggas be trying to worry about graduating.
That's what I'm saying. Like some of this stuff is just like God's plan. This guy's like this is perfect timing. I don't think anybody could have really seen this coming.
So how do y'all feel like this whole thing will be after this whole quarantine thing is over?
I feel like we'll never get out of it. I feel like it's gonna be the new norm.
Quarantine?
At least the regulations from it, like social distancing, like all the manners that go into that, from like businesses
a certain
to like
capacity of people like can only be out here at a certain time, or like whatever. I feel like it's gonna be the new normal.
What you mean in terms of podcast?
I was talking about in terms of the podcast, but
Oh shit.
Well,
all right.
I mean, I feel like it's still gonna be up and running. It's still gonna be jumping like it is now. So hopefully,
Well, we
that's
might
the
go
plan.
into adulthood, so I mean, we pretty much have like nothing to do except for go to work.
At that 9 to 5, I'm all
We don't got no baby, so we got to worry about no baby mama drama, no baby. So
that could be another episode in itself, right there.
what?
The whole baby mama drama thing. That could be a whole other episode.
I can't talk about that because I don't got no baby mama.
It's mama drama.
We're
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be.
sitting there listening, then we'll really be thirsty then.
But let's talk to the people that got baby mamas though.
We did. We talked to them on Mother's Day. We said,
What's some
baby
advice?
mothers,
What's some
appreciate
good
y'all.
advice you could give to
You're asking Jonathan
single
Brothers?
fathers?
Oh, I'm about to
I'm the wrong one to ask.
No, I'm not asking you like you from experience or something. I'm not
Hang in
saying
there.
that.
Hang in there.
I ain't saying that now.
He
I
gonna
can't
say
give-
you shouldn't have did it.
I can't give advice. Strap up. that's
Look, that's the best advice for you right
that's
now.
really all I can get you. Strap up.
So,
You won't
after
be
they
in the
mess up,
problem.
you ain't got nothing else.
I'm about to say he don't got nothing else to say after
That's
that.
really it.
He gonna say, told you.
He like, you didn't listen.
Hey, but now, like, when people listen to y'all's podcast, like, people can really tell that y'all have good chemistry. Where does that chemistry come from?
We've been friends for a
Basically,
long time.
We grew up together, basically.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. And then we just basically grew up together. Bro.
We done literally seen each one of us at our low points, high points, and transformations, all that jazz. So I mean,
Some people left the group, and we had to reel it back in.
that shit was funny.
But nah, honestly, like it's really just like we're not scared to like be ourselves around each other. Like we really took each other in with open arms, and like we know, like Eric said, all our flaws and like ups and downs and stuff like that. And like we're pretty much honest with each other. Rashawn more honest than some. Eric more vulnerable than others, but
What would that make you?
the glue.
You're the glue?
Yeah, I'm the glue. For a fact.
So Eric's more vulnerable than everybody else?
Oh, for
Absolutely.
more
Okay.
Is that why his name's Heartbreak Drake?
Sheesh.
Look,
Look, you're getting close.
You're getting close.
so many times.
You're getting close. You're getting close.
Hey, y'all saying he's emotional?
Yeah, for a fact.
I mean, I don't have no problem with admitting that. I'm a pretty emotional guy. I got feelings.
But I feel like nowadays, like
It's
it's
kind
kind
of
of cool to
It's
be
kind of
emotional.
cool to be
now.
emotional now.
You got the Bryson Tillers, the Rod Waves,
Trizzy. Yeah.
But Eric was emotional before it was cool to be emotional.
Hey, you think I was like that, like with just
But
you
I was like
guys?
when the pioneer, like,
We're being real. Like,
This is day one. I ain't gonna lie. You like, bro, I'm waiting on everybody else. I'm already here.
sheesh.
being real.
Yeah, now, how did y'all, when y'all first started this, did you think that y'all's show would actually, like, resonate with people? Or are y'all just going, like, alright, well, we're just gonna record and just see how it goes? Like, did y'all just, like, let it naturally come? Or,
We was
like,
gonna record and just see how it went.
Yeah. Real people respect real things that are said. So I mean, the people that rock with us gonna rock with it either way. And like people fuck with us, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna fuck with the podcast. Whatever we got going on. That's how you find out who your real ones are.
And if they don't, then I mean,
Nice
it's
to know
okay.
you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
shoot, I mean, y'all get a lot of people shouting y'all out, especially on Instagram. Like,
Respect.
every time y'all drop an episode, shoot, you see me. Hey, y'all go check this out.
Tyler Brown is a faithful, loyal listener.
I appreciate y'all for real, for real.
Real
We wouldn't be nothing without the listeners, for real.
Honestly.
Wouldn't be nothing.
Awesome.
And then the thing about it, a lot of our listeners are from South Carolina, so that's another big thing. Even from other states too, of course.
Yeah.
Sean Love.
Yeah, now, like, what do y'all think about the importance of building, like, that loyal fan base? Well, not fan base, but followers. I don't want to
I
Neighborhood.
don't even like calling them followers,
Neighborhood.
like supporters. Like
Supporters.
really the neighborhood.
My bad, supporters.
But like we're all in this together. So I mean, as soon as they're ready to share what they got with the rest of the state, we gonna put them on instantly. Like we really just want to be like, I don't know what the word is, but like this avenue to show you, okay, you can do this here. Oh, you need somebody to do this. Okay, here they are. Like that's what we envision. Like since day one.
That's what makes it different. Like we're not just doing this just to do it. Like we really like have a purpose behind it. And like, I think people are starting to realize that. Like honestly, like you saw a last Instagram post. It was like a post for a local artist in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? So when people see stuff like that, they're really like, yeah, these guys gotta be different. We just need that. We just need that one. That I'm not gonna say that one listener, but that one person, like that one right person, look at it. And I feel like we're gonna like take it to the next level because the content's there. We just gotta like get it out to the right people.
Now, so would y'all say like this is kind of like a South Carolina version of like Say Cheese?
Where's Say Cheese from? I never do. I never
He's
do
from
that.
Philly.
Philly.
Yeah, he's kind of like a more of a national guy. Like what he's doing nationally, like y'all kind of do that locally.
Isn't Say Cheese only social media though?
What do you mean?
Is it just like a primary like a social media platform, or is it?
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know. 'Cause we kind of want to reach out more than just social media. So.
Well, if he's doing the same thing as us, then I guess you could call it.
In a sense, yeah.
I
But
mean,
South Carolina be putting on too now.
Yeah.
South Carolina be putting on.
South Carolina does be
They be
I
putting
do-
on
I
for
do
real.
watch-
They be on it.
Shout out South Carolina for real.
Absolutely.
I don't know y'all, but y'all be putting on.
That boy straight.
They been jet lag.
Oh, and of course, Jet Lag TV. Come on.
Yeah, shout out
Gotta
Jet
respect
Lag.
Jet Lag TV. Come on now.
That was episode 5.
Trap rental.
That was episode 5 right there. Don't forget the reach.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Can't forget the reach.
Gotta show respect.
And don't forget lemon juice. I don't know if y'all know them. But lemon juice is good too. They're from Charleston.
Okay.
That's my nigga.
No, I mean to ask you, bro. Like how in depth or like in tune with like all this stuff are you? Because like you pretty much know everybody that's like really up and coming.
Really?
Or people know you. Well, I would say.
I mean, really, I just show genuine support to like what they got going on. Because if you look at just take Jet Lag for example.
Right.
You look at it like, I have a shirt of theirs. Like I've actually bought a shirt of theirs. If you look at the reach, I bought a copy of the first magazine. Like
Okay.
I showed genuine support. And you know when you just do that, you just hope that genuine support comes back, and it usually does.
Yeah.
And that's really all I do. And another thing, like I'm just not afraid to talk to people.
Right.
You are not afraid.
And that was actually like one of the biggest changes that I've had since college. Because when I first came into college, I was terrified to talk to people.
Mm.
You wouldn't think that
Right.
now, but like it's been a major change for me.
Right. You feel like the podcast helped that, or you just like the podcast
Now you got a
came
podcast. You're afraid to talk to people.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to people, now you got a podcast.
That's a whole
Think about
other-
that.
I mean, I don't think the podcast has like helped me like not be afraid to talk to people, because the idea of the podcast actually came from something that we do on campus called Cuts and Conversations.
Oh, that's where it came from.
That's where it came
I
from.
never knew that for real.
Because if like y'all know me, then you know like I say a lot of wild things.
Like
I've been
cuts and
there.
conversations, yeah.
And if y'all know Dr. Mann, she came up to me. She's like, Jonathan, you like to talk to people, and I'm like, I should start my own podcast. Because y'all remember like last year, like at the beginning of 2019, I have been talking about starting it, but I have always like procrastinated. But then it was just like one day, I just went to Best Buy. I bought the equipment. Literally, I went to Best Buy. I went to Best Buy after my first class, bought the equipment, and I just started. I asked Rashawn to be on. I asked Vanessa to be on.
You didn't ask me, but it's all right.
Sir. You don't know, bro. That's all that matters.
The Q on his
And Kendall kind of came on as a coincidence. He just happened to be downstairs, and I just called him. I'm like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? He's like, sure. And we just made it happen.
So how do you figure out what to talk about? Because it seems like you just ask people that you're in the mood to ask like every week. So how do you find stuff to like talk about with those people that you pick?
I feel like whatever like is going on in the world, like whatever like kind of popular on social media, like what a hot topic is, and I feel like, and when I pick guests who will probably have a different opinion than me.
A lot of people have a different opinion than you.
Well, since you say you be talking about current events and social media, speaking of this, what do you think about the 6ix9ine situation? What do you think about that?
Oh, I hate him.
You hate
You
him?
hate
I hate 6ix9ine. He's a snitch.
But you used to rock with his music though.
I did, but then he became a snitch.
So he's just a snitch with hard music, I guess.
Yeah, Hard music that I'm not gonna listen to.
Okay. Can't listen to.
Just like R. Kelly, ain't it?
Won't listen to.
Who else would you like, Jonathan? I feel like you
Pause.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's just like R. Kelly, ain't it?
I don't know. I listen.
Bro,
I listen to R. Kelly now. I do.
I still listen to R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, baby.
We can listen to R. Kelly now?
Bro, we still listen to Michael Jackson.
R. Kelly was a legend.
Michael Jackson? Whoa. Those are different things, Q.
They both got one. We don't know really what happened with Michael Jackson.
Correct. Which is why you can't put them in the same category
But
with R. Kelly.
Michael, come on.
We don't know what Michael has.
Be real.
Why do you have Forever Everything?
Because Michael always wanted to be a kid on the inside. That's all.
I thought you bought that.
Because Joe Jackson robbed him of his childhood. That's why.
We gonna get into that.
Yeah, but yes, Eric, I do listen to R. Kelly. He's a legend. Okay, 6ix9ine was never a legend.
I'm just saying, like, good music is good music. You don't want to listen to it regardless.
Yeah, no, I can't listen to government informants. Okay.
What about Gunna? You're gonna be snitching, so like,
chill out.
Gunna did not snitch.
Bro, he didn't snitch, bro.
You just
said he was on Crime Stoppers, though.
He just said it wasn't.
He was definitely on Crime
He
Stoppers,
was
so
on
that's
Crime.
enough. It's
You're
enough.
not finna ruin this the week his album comes out for me. Okay?
I'm ready for it.
Listen, I'm saying,
I didn't call him a snitch.
he was on Crime Stoppers.
He
That's
called him
all
a
it is.
tattletale. That's what he said.
He was like you said. He wasn't.
He really wasn't snitching.
But he was giving all his.
But he was on Crime Stoppers.
I didn't see his name on some paperwork.
He really, bro, but he wasn't snitching.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So that's what.
But he was on Crime Stoppers. That's really what you got on how you got to look at
You
it.
can take it how you want. What the facts are.
But nah, like back to the topic. Like, yeah, I just like if like a lot of people are like talking about like what they see on social media, I'd be like, like that might be something I want to talk about on the show because it might resonate with people.
Right.
And then like I just choose people like who I see like okay like their opinion differs from me, but like we're gonna have like we can have a conversation, but we'll keep it respectful though.
I think where we differ, and what you're saying is not bad either at all, because some people want to talk about it, but they just don't have an avenue to approach that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably something we're going to probably venture into as well. But I think what we've been good at is picking topics to talk about on the podcast that are like, I guess, like more so on the morality element of resonating with people. Like let's say a social media setting changes or whatever, like that mindset of approaching something like, do you feel like black men, blah blah blah, or like whatever we've been talking about, like, you know, within our episodes, you know, like the real ones now, like that kind of stuff affects you at any point in your life. Like it's just not a temporary or like a moment thing. Like I feel like that's what we've been really good at. Like you can listen to our episode probably 3 years later, 5 years later, whatever, and it's just gonna resonate with you in a sense that like this is a mindset that's always constantly evolving, or I can have it and I can deal with it, or I can remember or resonate with it. So I think that's like a difference of approaches, but obviously your approach is working very well. We're still trying to catch up to where you're at.
Yeah, we on the coattails of Reality Roundtable.
Yeah.
But he's saying that he's mainly on controversial stuff, like stuff that's gonna make you argue. So
yeah,
I mean, if it works for you, it works for you.
Absolutely.
And then like when it comes like the way that y'all are elevating, like do y'all like hang around? Like does that make y'all like cautious of who y'all hang around, knowing that y'all are going to a higher status now?
Man, I ain't never scared to go nowhere.
I mean, no, I'm not
But I don't
saying
think,
go
like-
nowhere, but like you gotta be kind of like more like cautious of who you hang around because like you can't take everybody with you now. That's true, but you want to try to at least bring them with you.
First of all, we're not celebrities.
Yeah,
we're
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
Like I appreciate, I appreciate that, but we got ways to go. But like, I get what you're saying. You don't want to bring people with you just because of what they got.
No, I
we
never said you don't want to bring people with you. I said you can't bring everybody with you. I never said you don't want to. You want to bring everybody with you, you just can't.
I feel that, but we're just trying, like, regardless of whether or not we want you to be able to see whatever that is. So if that counts as bringing it with you, then we'll do that in that sense.
If you take anything from what we've done and apply it, then we did our job. That's
Yeah.
all I'm asking for, honestly.
Like, do y'all do like the way y'all like speak about things? Y'all speak about it on a very like highly intelligent level. Like, are there things that y'all do to keep y'all mind sharp?
You think we speak on a highly intelligent level?
You think so for real?
Yeah, y'all some highly intelligent brothers, okay?
Hey, I appreciate that, brother.
But now we just be chilling.
We really
Yeah,
But we just ask the questions that people already be thinking about, honestly. Like, we'll
Yeah.
ask us, like, bro, how do you feel about this? Like, okay, if that's the case, then what about this? Like, it's really the conversation we have, like, on the day-to-day. Like, we argue, like, don't get
And for
me
the
wrong,
most part, we
argue.
talk the way on the podcast the way we do in real life too. So this really ain't no fake stuff.
I think people really think that we just be faking this, bro. Like, we just do this on the
This
podcast.
conversation is gonna happen whether we recorded it or not. So,
I swear to God, it will.
So you might as well give them that good
I hope you
content.
dare listen, because it's going to be some gems.
yeah.
Now, say like when it comes to y'all's podcast, like y'all have an interactive element where y'all take like y'all go on Instagram, y'all be like, okay, like what topic do y'all want to talk about?
Right.
How like from the feedback that people give y'all, like how do y'all pick exactly which ones y'all want to talk about?
I mean, without people listening, then the podcast ain't gonna do nothing. It don't really matter. So we basically, if you're gonna at least listen, we're gonna at least do something that you want to hear. Yeah. That's basically how you just look at it.
With the Q&A podcast, like that was literally us like asking what y'all want us to talk about on this podcast episode.
It's not like we went dry for like a week, couldn't think of anything. We were like, let's engage. Like we want people to know that like this is for them and this is for you guys in the same aspect.
So I don't think we're on like some unreachable pedestal, like oh they're never gonna be any back, or like even consider what I'm saying. Like we live right down the street. Like, we're in Columbia.
Yo, like,
we're not Hollywood, no.
Coming live from the Heartbreak Hotel.
I mean that's an exclusive setting right there. But other than that, like,
I mean, people know the Heartbreak Hotel for what it is. Like we've had a little bit of functions in here, you know. From time
If
to
you
time.
know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you don't, then I don't know what to say.
I feel bad for the ones that ain't go to that cookout though. Ain't they missed out?
Dang,
They need to retire
I
this, bro. Sean Harrell said they need to retire this apartment, bro. Like put cautious tape across it and but like never enter again or something like that. Like, do not enter.
And what? Just have y'all come back for homecoming to stay here?
Oh God, this should do
that. It's like an Airbnb trap. Please, all this shit in here, bro. You can just come back.
Oh man, that's funny.
Jonathan Brown, what'd you think of us like when you first met us? Cause you know I knew you like back in Gateway. What was your first impression?
You can hoop.
Well,
Cause that's how I met you. Like for real, I honestly don't remember meeting Rashawn. I don't. Don't take that offensively. I honestly don't remember meeting him. But here's the thing, like with Rashawn, like I was always familiar with his brother Jawan from social media.
That's how most of it is, bro.
And you know when you see Jawan, you'll see Rashawn.
I don't think people should look at it like that.
I'm just saying that's just how
they
happened
really
for me.
two separate people, but like.
And Eric, like I just met Eric on the last episode.
Yeah, dang.
But my thing is like if these guys like Rashawn, Queese, and Jawan rock with y'all, you gotta be cool people. So, cause you know they not hanging around lanes now. Cause they hanging around lanes, they can't hang around me. Can't do it.
You got no lanes hanging around you?
Huh?
You got no lanes hanging around?
No, he just said they don't.
Do I look like a lame to you?
See.
So
what would qualify?
Yeah, I was about to ask. What's
someone to be a lame?
You ain't trying to elevate yourself.
Elevate yourself.
That is lame as hell.
I mean, I don't really care what you're doing.
But there's a lot of successful people that are lame though. Like, there's a lot of successful people that are lame.
Y'all think Jason Derulo is lame?
Yes.
Y'all think, but his TikToks are getting better.
They're corny though.
They're corny, but like I don't know, bro.
Lame.
His TikTok premium account was crazy.
I don't really pay. I haven't seen one of them.
I don't get on TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok.
It was on Twitter. That's how I saw it, guys.
Oh.
But you have a TikTok also, Aaron.
Yeah, you do have a TikTok.
There's nothing wrong with having a TikTok.
You said wrong with it.
Right, but you said like
I don't make TikToks.
oh, you said like you was federal just now. Like what?
Right. So you don't have a TikTok?
Right, but how many times do we keep saying that? Like,
It's getting real 6ix9ine-ish right now.
Yeah, you made a TikTok before. People know you.
okay, Q, but why you keep bringing this up?
They ain't cute.
And
I had a TikTok since 2015.
What?
TikTok was back in 2015.
Yes, I literally had a TikTok since
There's no way
2015.
you had a
No,
TikTok
there's
since
no way.
2015.
You want me to show you?
How did you prove that?
Huh?
How would you prove
They
that?
actually show it on 20. They actually show it on TikTok.
Why did you have a TikTok in 2015?
I don't know. I guess I was just early on the way. I just never posted on there. I literally just go on there just to see what other people post.
What would they be posting?
I don't know.
It could have been that funny back then.
Bruh, nah, because TikTok is a new Vine, so.
I was in high school.
But Vine
man.
just died. Like I feel like
You
Vine
had
just died.
TikTok
Vine
since
been
high
Vine.
school?
No,
I was
like,
like,
people got off
yeah.
Vine, but officially, like you can't log on there anymore. Like recently.
God, I miss Vine. Vine was actually fun.
You was on Vine, right?
No, I was on Vine, but I hate Vine.
What was y'all favorite social media back then?
MySpace.
MySpace was lit.
I lied. Yik
had a
Yak
MySpace.
was tough for a little bit.
I never had
Kick,
a
yeah.
MySpace
You
Yik
ever
Yak.
had a kick?
Like, oh,
I had a-
Kid count? That's
Kick-
not social media?
Yeah. Kid was like
There's a
that.
lot of sickos on Kick.
Kid was like that.
Kick used to be up.
Yo, no.
11:45.
Bro, Kick used to be
11:45.
up,
That's what
bro.
But nah, just pedophiles don't Kick. Nah, don't get on Kick.
What else they used to have?
I mean, Facebook's been around for a long time.
That's what the OG.
Everybody had a Facebook.
Yeah.
I never had a MySpace.
Facebook's really for old people now. Like
That's
until
all I get on it.
like literally like my Facebook for real, like I really use it just to just to see like what people from my hometown are doing. Really, until police added me as a friend. Until that, like I would like literally I had a rule like I'm not adding nobody from college to my Facebook.
Why?
Why?
Because that was literally just a Rock Hill thing. But then
Facebook was only for Rock Hill.
for me, but you know once you requested to be my friend, I'm like, you know what? I will relax that rule a little bit now.
So if you blow up, like, are you not gonna add people like that want to connect with you?
Not on Facebook, no. I might delete my Facebook then.
Goddamn.
Might have to.
I'd be too accessible then. Can't be like that.
Yeah,
But nah, like social media, like MySpace was really like that. Like I feel like MySpace is literally the greatest social media site of all time. Think about it. You had your own custom background, play games on MySpace. You put your own playlist on MySpace. You actually got personality on MySpace. You don't get personality on these other sites.
You know, Tumblr was fire back then too.
Tumblr. I never had Tumblr.
Tumblr was
I
fire.
had Tumblr for a little minute.
Tumblr was fire.
I can't co-sign that Tumblr thing.
Yeah, only the real ones had it. It's okay, JB.
Only the real ones had
Only
it?
the real ones.
Sheesh.
Only the real ones.
Might be a little fake then.
Ah.
Yeah.
But nah, like I say MySpace because like think about it. You even had your top friends list on MySpace.
That hurt a lot of people's feelings.
The music on the page.
You knew exactly who was rocking with you and who wasn't rocking with you on MySpace. But now like I was like 7, 8 years old on MySpace.
Why'd
Like,
you have a MySpace at 7 and 8 years old?
hey, you gotta realize, man, those 2000s were a different time, okay?
It was a different
It
time.
was a different time.
2000 was a good time, too.
It was a good time. The music was good.
Music was great.
Did y'all boys ever sign up for them online dating sites? Like you
No.
and that shit.
No.
You
I
talking
signed
about
up
Black
for
People Meet?
I signed up for Black People Meet at 13.
How was that experience?
Bro, I just want to see what was on there, bro.
What was on there?
It was some shorties on there.
Shorties.
It was some shorties on there.
Jeez.
Wow.
It wasn't the one that you see on the commercial. They didn't look like that. Like the badass girls be on the commercial.
Yeah.
They weren't none of them ones.
That's really like a 2000
That's why I got
word,
off on
shorties.
I still think Farmers Only was a racist website.
Farmers only.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
Oh dang, I remember that.
Oh my god.
I didn't get on eHarmony, bro.
Not eHarmony. Don't eHarmony cost like $20 or something?
Yeah.
I mean,
Shoot, you go
love for
today,
$20.
you might as well just go ahead and Christian mingle, man.
A month?
Christian Mingle? Bro, that was another one.
Oh, never
Christian
mind.
Mingle?
I can't.
Come on, bro. You ever did a Christian Mingle?
I did a Christian Mingle. I should have.
Nah,
I did shit like
That would have been
Tinder
experience.
and Bumble.
But nah, I never got on the dating site, even when I wasn't lame in high school.
I mean,
I
but
never
niggas
got on the dating
pay
site.
for OnlyFans accounts, so I mean.
Why you say you was
for fans
lame in high school?
Bro, because I had no confidence in myself. I really didn't.
That's what people that go on dating sites do. They go on there because they have no confidence. in
I was a simp. I was a simp in high school. I wasn't that big of a simp though. I had limits.
I hear you.
I feel that.
But nah, like if you knew me in high school, you had to like get to know me again now. I'm not the same person.
I agree.
I feel like I really like gained my confidence in high school. Like,
You gained it in high school?
well, like junior year of high school.
I didn't get mine till college.
Yes.
I didn't get mine till college, freshman year.
I mean, I got more confidence now.
Yeah.
But in terms of not caring what people thought about me, is junior year of high school.
I feel like there's two different things. I feel like having confidence in yourself and not caring what people think is like two different things.
But you gotta have confidence in yourself to not care what other people think.
I think it's like in that aspect, it's hand in hand.
Yeah. You gotta be self-aware. You gotta know yourself.
See that?
When you got that self-confidence, you don't care what anybody else thinks because you know yourself.
Agreed.
See, the reason that didn't come from me until college because, like, in high school, I had to see the same people every day. See, in college, you don't have to see the same people every day. You're not in the same class with them. And, like, think about it, like, you had to go to, like, in high school, you had to go to lunch at the same time, see those same people. In college, like, you can actually skip class and go to lunch. I wouldn't advise nobody to do that. But,
You can skip class and go to lunch in high school, though.
yeah, but you get in trouble for it
Valid.
if you get caught.
If you get caught.
Yeah, you're not going to get in trouble here. The worst thing that's going to happen to you is you'll miss the test. The second thing that's going to
You
happen,
said that's the worst thing.
that's the
I mean, that's
worst
pretty
thing
bad.
that's
That's
going to
worse
happen.
and worse.
The second worst thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to miss like a lecture that you might need for the test. Third, it'll count as
These are
absence.
some pretty important things. Okay, all three of those things are pretty important, Jonathan Brown.
Yeah, those
Those are important.
If you don't do this
I'm
right.
just saying, like, there are no, like,
Stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely stay in school. Like I said, I don't advise anybody to do any of this.
Right.
But, like I'm saying, like, there's no, like, actual repercussions. Like, they're not going to call your mom because you missed school.
Call Eric mom.
In
High
college,
school, high school. Jesus, cute.
you just aired it out, Eric.
Man, they aired out in my
My bad, my
Had
bad.
people think I was in college. Once they just stopped there, they're like, wow, this nigga Eric, bro.
Oh, man. But yeah, on that on that end, I think I'm gonna end the episode right here. This was a very good conversation. Unless y'all boys got anything else y'all want to say.
Well, we really just been chilling and
It's
talking.
about
Having
it.
Yeah,
conversations.
like literally, like in the very beginning of the episode, like we like there was like actual structure and questions, but like
We
in
just
like
chilling
the
out.
second half of the episode, like we kind of just freestyle.
That's how you turn to way to the episode. And then that transition right there.
This really is a way of the 8 episode.
Nah, I cool out. Though. It's reality round table. We're just honored to be a part of it, though.
Yeah, you round table.
You
You should get a slogan for your podcast.
I thought he said he
I
was
might have to steal that from what you just said.
reality round
Reality
table.
round table.
You gonna have him recorded too?
No, we just recorded.
Oh shit!
He just recorded it.
Reality round table.
But all right, everybody. I'm your host, Jonathan Brown, and thank you for joining me.
Peace.
See you next time.
All right.